but they're not. Okay? It's when we've got an A plus B and then an A minus B. So they're the same numbers for the first one, the same number for the second, but the difference is we've got an operation in the middle that's different. So they have opposite operations. Okay? So first start with your FOIL. Okay? So with our FOIL then, remember, it's your first. So it becomes x times x. Remember, they each got an exponent. And you add them together. So x squared. Then we're going to do our outside pieces. So the x and the negative 6. So that makes it a negative 6x. Then you do your inside pieces. So it becomes plus 6x. And then a negative 6 times a positive 6 will be a negative 36. Okay, so like we did before, going to put these together. Okay, you should be realizing I got a negative 6 plus a 6, so that eliminates each other because negative 6 plus 6 becomes 0, so they're gone. So then actually, then once you do that, we don't have an x any longer. I have an x squared minus 36. Okay, and that's your final answer. This is it. Because since these are gone, they're gone. All right, so let's look at another one. I have a 7 plus n and a 7 minus n. So once again, now they're written differently than those top ones, which is fine. It's okay that these are flipped. You're still going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the first. So 7 times 7. So 7 squared means it's 49. I'm going to do the outside. So that becomes a negative 7n. The inside is a plus 7n. And then these two together becomes a negative n squared. Okay. Once again, this middle eliminates. Okay. So this becomes 49 minus n squared. What I'm hoping you guys are noticing is that there's a pattern here. When your binomials that you're multiplying here, and they're the same numbers, it only works when they're the same numbers there. Okay, like the top one has the 6, the middle one has the 7, and then the variables are the same, of course. And then one's addition, one's subtraction. Okay, is that there's a little trick to these when you have this, a little less work, because the middle is always going to eliminate when it's like this. Okay, so a simpler method is you're using that FOIL. Okay, your first ones are staying. Okay, so like in both of those, the x squared was the one I multiplied the first times the first. Okay, and then the other one that stayed, the negative 36 and the n squared, were what you did last in each of those. Okay, so what eliminated was the outside and the inside pieces. So you can like save yourself a step here when you realize that they're like that and not do the middle. Okay, so let's just take a look at this 7 plus n and then 7 minus n. So just do the first. So 7 times 7 is 49. Now, do just the last. Don't worry about those outside, inside. Do your last. That becomes minus n squared. I got the same thing. Okay, but you guys got to remember, it only works if your first are the same number, your last are the same number, but then your operation is an addition and subtraction. Okay, so let's look at one more. I have x plus 8, x minus 8. My first are the same, my last are the same. I have addition, I have subtraction. So using just the f and the l of FOIL, your first and your last, multiply your first. So x times x is x squared. And then do your last. So it's 8 times 8. And since it's a positive negative, it becomes negative. And so an 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, and if you want to check it by doing the full FOIL, You can, okay? But remember, this method only works when your first numbers are the same, your last numbers are the same, one's an addition, one's a subtraction. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, please ask.